class. This class is brought to you by Addis Ababa City Education Bureau in collaboration with Addis Media Network. And today's topic is contextual vocabularies taken from Unit 8's topic, fitness. So before we talk about these contextual vocabularies that we find in Unit 8, I want us to go back to our earlier class and discuss some of the things we have talked about. If you remember, in the earlier class, we talked about colon and semicolon. So what did we say about colon and semicolon? We said both of them are what? Both are punctuation. Both are punctuation marks. Yes, both of them are punctuation marks. Those are their similarities, yes? And what are the many ways we could use colon and semicolon? If you remember, in colon, when we were talking about colon, we said it is what? A punctuation that resembles two vertical dots. This is the symbol of a colon. And we also talked about how we use it. The first one being to separate two related ideas or two related sentences, yes? And the second one, separate a sentence that is followed by a phrase. This is the second way that we said we could use a colon. The third is what? Ratio. In ratios, we use colon. We also use it to talk about time. In time, when we are writing the numbers, we use what? Colon to separate the minutes and the hour. What else? We also use it to talk about quotations. Yes, quotations. So all of these are what? Ways we could use semicolon. We also talked about how we could use it in titles, if you remember. When we are writing titles, especially book titles that have a continuation in their titles, we use colon. So we have many ways of using. We could also use it to talk about lists as well. Lists. When we are listing things, we could use what? Colon. So, and these are the most common and many ways we could use colon. That's what we talked about. And what about semicolon? In semicolon, we only have seen two ideas or two ways into using semicolon, if you remember. The first that we said, and the most important or the most commonly used way for semicolon, is to separate two independent clauses, right? Or two independent sentences that are related, yes? They are related, but they are two independent clauses. So we use what? We use semicolon in the middle. This is the most common use of a semicolon. The second one is to separate what? Two clauses with conjunctive adverbs. With conjunctive adverbs. This is the second way we talked about of using semicolon. I'm sure you have been practicing in your home and in your schools of the many ways you could use colon and semicolon in sentences. And today's topic is contextual vocabulary, Unit 8. Contextual vocabulary. It is lesson 24. Okay? And what are some of the vocabularies we should see in this unit and their importance? Unit 8 talks about fitness, talks about health and fitness. So let's see some of the vocabularies that are very important and we should know about. The first one is spark. As you see here, we are using colon again. It has what? A very common use when we are writing sentences. Spark. Okay, spark. That is the word that we are going to focus. That is the first word that we're going to focus on today. That is the first vocabulary. So what is the meaning of spark? Spark means to ignite a strong feeling. To ignite a strong feeling. Spark has also another meaning, to ignite. It could be different electrical powers, and it could also talk about lighting fire, actual fire. But in this case, we're talking about feeling, our emotions. So, to spark, to ignite a very strong feeling. For example, a woman has no spark within her. We're talking about, it seems this woman has what? It looks like she has no emotion whatsoever. So spark is what? Strong feeling in this context. And it seems like it looks like she doesn't have that strong emotion, any kind of emotion. What other examples can we give? Another example, a tiny spark of anger flared within her. This one is the opposite from the first one, right? In the first one, it seems like there was no kind of emotions and no feelings being shown, right? But in the second one, it says a tiny spark of anger, which is a feeling, which is an emotion, flared within her. So sparks represents, in this context, igniting a strong feeling or a feeling. Okay. What about number 2? Equipment. Equipment. What is equipment? Equipment is the necessary items for a particular process. Equipments are materials, okay? Equipments are materials that you use in different settings, in different places. For example, my school equipment, have arrived. My school equipments have arrived. What are those school equipments? As a student, what are the equipments that you have in your school? For example, if you are in school, in the school compound, the equipments you need are, for example, chairs, you need boards, you need tables, and different kinds of materials. And they could be what? Equipments. What else? What other example can we give? The photographer came early to set up the equipments. The studio equipments. The studio equipments. Again, the photographer arrived what? Early or came early to set up the studio equipments. The materials like cameras and lightnings or different kinds of things used in the studio. Okay? So that is what? Again, another way of using this word. What about the third word that we are going to talk about today is boom. Boom. Boom talks about what? A rise or an increase in something. An increase or rise in something. It could be, for example, a boom of the economy. It could be anything, but it means a rise of something. For example, the economy of the country has boomed over the last few years. Over the last few years. This is what? Signifying how boom means an increase in something from its earlier position. Housing, construction has boomed in the last year. The last year. Again, it's showing what? An increase in something. An increase in something. And that is the way we use boom, or that is the meaning of boom. What about number 4? If we said boom, what comes after is aerobic. 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 This word is really, really associated with what? With sports and fitness and also health, but mostly fitness and health. So, aerobic means the body's ability to consume oxygen during exercise. The body's ability to what? Consume oxygen during exercise. And this is aerobic. So if people say aerobics exercise, it means exercises that require your body what? To consume oxygen during those times, okay? So let's give an example. Aerobic exercises like swimming and running are good for your health. Are good for your health. are good for your health. So aerobic, an aerobic exercise. So it is usually used to talk about fitness. And this is actually the perfect vocabulary for this unit, because this unit talks about fitness. Okay, what about number 5, endurance? Endurance means what? The ability to withstand. The ability to withstand something, okay? The ability to withstand something. Here it talks about people's strength, okay? It's related to how people can be strong. How can they be strong? Yes, to withstand something. So endurance shows that. For example, his endurance during training is something to be proud of. Something to be proud of, okay? So, we have shown endurance. Yes, endurance of that person during training. Trainings take lots of what? Lots of strength, lots of capability. And his endurance during that is what? Is something to be proud of. What else? In what other context or in what other sentences can we see endurance? The exercise requires a lot of endurance. The exercise requires a lot of endurance. So you have to be very strong, or you have to withstand a lot of pressure to do the exercise. That is our 5th word. What about number 6? What is our word? The 6th word that we're going to talk about is well-rounded. Well-rounded. Okay. Well-rounded. What does well-rounded mean? Fully or well developed. Fully or well developed, okay? So this time it could mean in someone's mental capacity, okay? Mental capacity. There are people who we say, or when we talk about some people, we say they are very well-rounded. What that means is they are well-read, they have read a lot of things, and they know a lot of things, and they see things from different angles, not only from one angle. So if we say someone is well-rounded, it means we are giving them a best compliment, a good compliment. Okay, let's see an example here. She is well-rounded in all aspects of her life. If we say this, then we're saying she has handle of everything. In her job, in her career, in her personal life. She's well-rounded with her friends, in her education. So if we say someone is well-rounded, then we're saying they are doing really well for themselves, and they have a handle of the situations of everything that goes on in their life. So well-rounded is a really good word to use when complimenting people who are really good at everything. Okay, another example. A well-rounded diet is difficult to stick to. It's difficult to stick to. It is correct. When we say well-rounded diet, we mean you should take in what? Vegetables, you should take in different kinds of juices, you have to take in calories, nutrition. So all of that is what? Well-rounded. And you should have it, for example, in a day. You should have all of those calories, those nutritions, or everything that you need should be what? A well-rounded diet. And it is very difficult for some people because some people like, for example, eating too much sugar instead of healthy food. Or some people eat too much vegetables and they don't take in calories as well. So a well-rounded diet is difficult to what? Stick to. But it is very healthy for people because it is what? Well-rounded. So well-rounded is a positive idea and a positive word. Okay. What other vocabularies can we see? Well-being is another word. Well-being is another word that we could see here. Well-being is the state of being happy and healthy. Happy and healthy. Yes, the state of being happy and healthy. If in the above vocabulary, if you see, when we say a person is well-rounded, we are saying they are doing really well or they know really well. Knowledge, they know really well. But if we say a person's well-being, if we're talking about a person's well-being, we're talking about their what? Their happiness or their health. So well-being is also a very important aspect to people. Everyone should have their own well-being. They should be happy and they should be healthy as well. For example, the well-being of children should be taken seriously. The well-being of children should be taken seriously. Yes, children should have what? Well-being. They should be happy and they should be healthy to grow up to what? Strong, capable individuals, right? So the well-being of children should be taken seriously by parents, by their parents, by schools they go to, by their teachers, by the village, by the environment, everyone, right? It should be what? A priority, and it should be taken very seriously because that is what makes good individuals. Having well-being makes what? Good individuals. People who are happy, they are productive. People who are happy bring positivity into their surroundings. And people who are also healthy are also productive. Let's say you are sick today. If you are sick today, you cannot produce anything. You cannot do your activities. You cannot learn. So that is what? Affecting your ability to be productive. So if your well-being is really good, and that means if you are healthy, then you could do your exercises or your classworks or your homeworks or your projects. And you could also learn in a very positive way. So that is the meaning of well-being. Okay, other example. Our actions should take account of the well-being well-being of others. This is one example. When we are talking to people around us, when we are communicating with people, we have to what? Take account the well-being of others. We cannot say something bad to people because it might affect their well-being, their state of happiness. So whenever we are communicating with others, we always have to think about or take account about not to hurt the well-being of others. So we should have what? A really good rapport with each other, a really good communication with each other, so as not to disturb the well-being of others. Okay, what about the last vocabulary that we're going to see today is release. This is the vocabulary that we're going to see today. Release means what? To let something go. It could be from its restraint. It could be something might be restrained. And if you say release, you are letting that something go. It could be confinement, imprisonment. It could be anything that confines someone, right? And if we say release, it means to let that something or someone go, okay? For example, the prisoner was released this afternoon. The prisoner was released this afternoon. So a prisoner is someone who stays in prison or who stays in jail. So if we say the prisoner was released this afternoon, that person has been let go from his or her confinement. Okay, what other example can we give? You should release the air you are holding every now and then. So if you're holding in the air, release it, yes? So I'm holding the air, I'm releasing it, right? So this is really useful when people are, this idea or this sentence is used when people are doing exercises or when they are calming themselves. For example, people who have presentations are really nervous before their presentation, yes? So they have short breaths. So instead of doing that, people around them may give them advice to take in and release out air so that it would calm them. And these are all the definitions and also the examples for all of these vocabularies. And since we have said all of these things about these vocabularies, now let's see some exercise. Let's do some exercises together. Fill in the brackets, fill in the blanks with the appropriate words. Okay. Spark. We have spark. We have equipment. We have boom. We have endurance. We have, what else? Aerobic. We have well-being. Well-rounded. And we have release. Okay, that's it. We have all of these words. Okay, and then let's write some sentences and let's fill in the blanks. The athlete showed incredible blank during the marathon ceremony. During the marathon ceremony. Okay. The invention of the internet led to the blank of the technology industry. Okay, number 3. The actor was known for being blank, having studied dancing and singing. Number 4, regular blank exercise like running and swimming. Swimming is good for your health. Number 5, the politician gave a blank speech. Number 6, meditation can improve your mental and emotional Okay, so these are the exercises that we are going to do today. I want you to do it and we will do it together. I will give you 2 minutes to complete this exercise and then we'll come back and do it together. Okay, I'm sure you all did a really good job in answering all of these questions. And let's do them together and we will conclude this class. The first one, the athlete showed incredible dash during the marathon ceremony. What do you think it is? Incredible what? Incredible what? Endurance. Endurance. Strength. Ability, right? To withstand something during the marathon ceremony. Okay, number 2. The invention of the internet led to what? The increase in something in this case. And we talked about when we are talking about something increasing, we are talking about boom. So the invention of the internet led to the what? Boom of the technology industry. Okay, what else? Number 3, the actor was known for being what? Well-rounded. Well-rounded, having studied dancing and singing. So this person is an actor, but knows how to sing and dance. So, well-rounded, has a good education. Okay, number 4, regular what? Dash aerobic exercises like running. Regular aerobic exercises. Exercises that require your body to take in oxygen. Exercises like running and swimming is what? Good for your health. Okay, number 5. The politician gave dash speech. This is a repetition in one word. The politician gave a what? Well-rounded speech. A well-rounded speech has touched ideas or subjects from different parts and has given a very good, well-composed speech. Finally, meditation can improve your mental and emotional what? Well-being. Well-being. That is correct. Well-being. Meditation can improve your mental and emotional well-being. So our state of happiness and health is what? Improved by meditation. So these are all the vocabularies that we're going to see today, we have seen today. And remember to always use them when you are talking in conversations, when you are reading, and remember to also recognize them when you are reading and use them when you're writing. And that is all for today's class. I hope you've all gotten a lot of things and enjoyed this class, and I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.
So the fourth of the heats in 400 I.